the explosion, I think, was a big shock, not only to the people in Lebanon, I think for people worldwide, because I think Lebanon was widely talked about as soon as the explosion happened. It's probably one of like the third biggest explosion in the world. Life-changing wise, it's changed with regards to widening everybody's perspective on what the real problem is, politically, economically, and the amount of help that brought people together during the first, even the first week. Everybody just started going down and helping, and that was a real eye-opener as well. It brought a lot of people together. 4 months on, I'm thinking that it's still being talked about. It's not forgotten. There are still places and houses that are still in need of repair. People still in need of repairing their homes. A lot of what we're getting house-wise for food and just living, how we're living, it's changed. We're limiting ourselves to just the essentials that we need, rather than panic buying and so forth. So I think that's, you know, mainly all the houses of, you see around the world sometimes when, as soon as the COVID happened, people just started running around to the supermarkets and panic buying. I think here it was very different. The supermarkets were rarely empty. People were just buying what they need and storing them, and a lot of people who had excess just kept on going around the houses of people in need and just distributing lots of food and blankets and anything they want. And even a lot of people were getting together and making large quantities of food, especially a lot of companies in Beirut, and just going around the houses in Ashrafiyya Center and sending food to the people. And it's even ongoing 4 months on, so that's really nice to see. Even before the explosion, a lot of jobs were affected. I mean, people lost their businesses because of the economic crisis, and straight after the explosion, a lot of people started to find jobs abroad. A lot of students started applying abroad, and they wanted to study abroad. They just had enough with staying here. I know a lot of doctors and nurses even that they've decided they wanted to look for places, maybe in Dubai, America, Canada, and they've just gone for jobs over there. So small businesses has been impacted a lot. You can see even in the malls, you can say half the stores have closed down. And it's just like the little supermarkets, the tiny supermarkets that you can see in the corner. Those are the only ones that are staying open for the people in the villages. Other than that, it's pretty chaotic. I can truly say that about 80% of students that were applying to AUB, LAU, they've decided to go and apply abroad and get scholarships abroad, which is a shame, really. Well, I don't know whether you've heard, but most of the countries have stopped incoming and outgoing flights to London, apart from Lebanon. So unfortunately, we've had the strain come to Lebanon. There hasn't been any word about lockdown as yet. There hasn't been a massive rise in the amount of deaths or the amount of people that have been tested positive for the new virus strain. However, it's still new, and it takes them, I think, probably the same amount of time, about 2 weeks, for it to start showing signs up in the people. And people, you know, with Christmas and New Year, there's more people that are getting together, and we haven't had, like, I don't know whether in London they've been told that, you know, no gatherings. We haven't been told that here as well. So people have just been, you know, reconnecting with families and doing lots of gatherings. So we'll find out in the next couple of weeks what will happen, but we haven't been told anything further about the new lockdown or what will happen with schools in the new year. With regard to this new strain, I mean, even the last semester, we did try and go back for 2 weeks, but we just found it's going to be, we gave the choice to parents if they wanted to keep their children at school, we teach online, and we had the children coming into school. But further into the month of December, we just found it too big of a chance, and we were just hearing that in the area in LA where we are living, it was getting worse. So we decided to close the kindergarten department and just teach online, which we were ready for, thankfully. And because of this new strain that we've been told is more at risk for younger age students and children, so we're probably going to go for continuing online learning, distance learning, for at least the first few months, to see when we can hear more information about it, and then we'll decide again what will happen after that. I mean, it's very easy to say that our problem is just, it's not just COVID related. It's not, there's the blast that happened. It's still unclear. There's no real justice been done regarding that. And even before that, we had political problems and economic problems. So for it to be, in my opinion, for there to be that light at the end of the tunnel, we need external countries to actually get involved. America was trying to involve politically with regard to what's happening with the political parties in Lebanon, but then they put a hold on that. France also was, Emmanuel Macron was also trying to get involved, and he put a few restrictions on the government, but they also put a stop to that. So unless we have any input from an outside country, I don't think that there's any hope for Lebanon at all. So as you know, like in the 17th of October last year, we had the start of the revolution here in Lebanon, which was also, it was talked about worldwide, which is a great thing. And the way that Lebanon revolted, comparing to other countries like Hong Kong, like in Europe, it was, I could say I'm really proud to be Lebanese, because we did it in a way that it was fun. It was, everybody got involved. Even my children got involved. Small kids, grandparents, everyone was standing together, disregarding their political party that they were already initially involved with. They just, you can see them tearing up their political cards and just saying, we're going to stand together independent of you all, and we're going to make a change. It was really heartwarming to see everybody getting together, and just people standing next to each other from different religious sects. And but there was, at that time, you could feel that, okay, the change is going to happen, we're going to make this happen. It stopped after a while, and then COVID got involved, and then we weren't able to, in the beginning of 2020, to continue doing this. But you can say at the same time, people around different, in their own way, were trying to change little things in their own little villages. If it's going to happen again, I don't know. But it was really, really good to see all the people getting together and trying to make a change and taking a stand. And even after the blast, I don't know whether you saw videos of young students or university students setting up companies to help the people that are in need, getting people together, getting their contacts with people from like the Emirates, or people from England, people from France, and just to get things getting sent to Lebanon, which was really good to see. And that was mostly students that were setting us up, which is like the young generation are taking action more than the government would in this situation, which was really good to see as well. You can say it's like been a strike. We've had one strike after the other. It's like bowling pins just being knocked over and then just getting back up, knocked over and getting back up. But the Lebanese people are resilient like that. They just keep getting back up, and nothing's going to stop them. I don't want to be too optimistic and say, I want to wish for world peace. because as I said, it won't get better before it gets worse. It has to get worse before it gets better. I just hope that I want external forces to come in, and I'd hope that they can make a change in the government here and start making progress for the Lebanese people.